Nintendo's Mario franchise has produced some of the greatest games ever made. It's renowned for its distinct characters, vibrant worlds, and innovative gameplay mechanics that contribute significantly to gaming culture. After nearly 40 years, Mario has become a global mascot that has appeared in over 200 games and sold hundreds of millions of copies, solidifying its status as one of the most successful video game franchises in history. Many of these games are spin-offs of varying genres: Paper Mario, Mario Kart, and Super Smash Bros., to name a few.
Created by Japanese game designer Shigeru Miyamoto, Mario is an Italian plumber living with his younger brother, Luigi, in the Mushroom Kingdom. His adventures typically involve rescuing Princess Peach from the monstrous, yet shrewd, King Bowser. His success inspired many future video game characters, including Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog. Other franchises reference Mario in some way. Ezio Auditore de Firenze's uncle introduces himself with Mario's iconic catchphrase, "It's a me, Mario," in Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed 2.
Number 10. Super Mario Sunshine. Though Super Mario Sunshine is only the second 3D Mario platformer game, it features a unique mechanic not found in any other main game in the franchise, the FLUDD. It's a multi-purpose water pack that allows Mario to spray enemies in goop, fly through the air, and dash quickly across long distances. The game is set on Isle Delfino, a tropical paradise where Mario must collect shine sprites and clear his good name after he's framed for polluting it.
Interestingly, this game is the only one in the franchise to include extensive voice acting. The atrocious Hotel Mario for the Philips CDI doesn't count, since later games returned to a traditional text box format. This game also introduced many recurring characters to the Mario universe. Bowser Jr., Petey Piranha, and Toadsworth are a few of them. The FLUDD makes occasional appearances in various spin-offs, including the Super Smash Bros. Series.
Number 9. Super Mario Bros. The original Super Mario Bros. Played a pivotal role in revitalizing the video game industry after the crash of 1983. By providing innovative gameplay, engaging level design, and high-quality graphics, it set new standards for platformers and helped restore consumer confidence. Its success spurred the popularity of home consoles, particularly the Nintendo Entertainment System, and encouraged developers to invest in video games. Video gaming might not have become the mainstream medium it is today without this game.
Interestingly, this game and its Japanese sequel, The Lost Levels, are the only games in the franchise with fixed jumping physics. This makes Mario feel heavier compared to later games, which have more fluid and responsive controls. While some players may not appreciate the earlier jumping mechanics, this game was built around them to allow gameplay to remain simple, yet still be satisfying.
Number 8. Super Mario World. Super Mario World is the first Mario platformer for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System and one of the best-selling games on the system. Considered a direct sequel to Super Mario Bros. 3, this game expands upon many of the latter's elements. The world map is interconnected and non-linear, the Koopaling's boss fights are more distinct, and the new Cape Feather turns Mario into a superhero with different flight mechanics from Raccoon Mario's. This game's most distinctive element is the introduction of Yoshi, a friendly dinosaur that Mario can ride like a steed while his long tongue can swallow many different enemies. The setting, Dinosaur Land, is home to many unique enemies that would become mainstays in the franchise. Wigglers, Charge and Chucks, and Magikoopa are just a few. It also introduces the spin jump, which can be seen as a prototype ground pound in future games. Number 7. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is an expanded port of the original Nintendo Wii U game released over 7 years later for the Nintendo Switch. While Super Mario 3D World's campaign is fully intact and outstanding to play in its own right, this port includes a new standalone adventure featuring Mario and Bowser Jr. cooperating against a gigantic and twisted version of the latter's father. Fury Bowser, similar to Black Bowser from Paper Mario, Color Splash, is corrupted by black goop.
The goal is to explore each island that dots Lake Lapcat and collect cat shines to keep Fury Bowser at bay. Meanwhile, Fury Bowser's rampage will affect gameplay every few minutes, causing the area Mario is in to be more hazardous. While Super Mario 3D World plays like a three-dimensional version of a traditional 2D platformer, Bowser's Fury has sandbox-like elements similar to earlier 3D games.
Number 6. Paper Mario. While the first Paper Mario for the Nintendo 64 is considered a spiritual successor to Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, it was successful enough to spawn its own spin-off series with 5 additional games, a remake, and a crossover game with the Mario and Luigi series. The game is named after its distinctive papercraft visual style, which portrays characters in 2D sprites while environments are in 3D.
Being the earliest game in the series, this game combines traditional role-playing game elements with Mario concepts to craft a unique setting with simple, yet deep gameplay. Action commands, partner characters, and a colorful world to explore make this a fantastic entry from the Nintendo 64's final days. Its direct sequel, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, expands upon this game's systems before future entries shook up the formula.
Number 5. Super Mario 64. As a launch title for the Nintendo 64, Super Mario 64 had a lot to prove about the 5th-generation console's capabilities. Despite the pressure, it did so with flying colors and is widely acclaimed as one of the greatest video games ever made. Compared to previous Mario games, this game drops the obstacle course-styled gameplay in favor of a mission structure on a larger map. It also popularized Charles Martinet's portrayal as the titular plumber himself, a series standard that remained until his retirement over 25 years later.
This game introduces many maneuvers that have become typical in most 3D Mario games: ground pounds, triple jumps, long jumps, and somersaults. Each of the game's 15 courses is littered throughout Peach's castle. Though most areas are locked at the start of the game, new locations become accessible as Mario collects Power Stars.
Number 4. Super Mario Bros. 3. While Super Mario Bros. 2 ended up being a North American revision of the Japan-exclusive Yumkojo, Doki Doki Panic, Super Mario Bros. 3 returns to the gameplay style that the original Super Mario Bros. Established. Every core mechanic is greatly expanded upon, many more power-ups, levels are expansive, new enemies and bosses, mini-games, and many secrets to discover in 8 unique worlds. The Super Leaf, which transforms Mario into Raccoon Mario, introduces the series' first iteration of flight.
This game has received critical acclaim since its release and is one of the best-selling Nintendo and Mario games of all time. It introduces the World Map feature, which carries over into every main game in the franchise since. This game also introduces new environments that become mainstays: arid deserts, snowy tundras, infernal wastelands, flying airships, and even a world with giant enemies and blocks.
Number 3. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. While Super Mario Bros. Wonder appears to be similar to previous Mario platformers on the surface, the new Wonder Flowers completely twist each level into something strange and unique. Some bring warp pipes to life, some turn players into Goombas, some force players to answer trivia questions, and some shift the camera angle from 2D to a top-down perspective. This game is so absurd that it's difficult to imagine how Nintendo can ever be so creative again.
This game is the first to feature Kevin Afghani as the voice of Mario and Luigi after Charles Martinet's retirement. They are 2 of the many characters that players can control throughout the game, though most play identically. The 4 Yoshis and Nabbit are the exceptions. Neither can take damage from colliding with an enemy and can only lose a life through certain hazards.
Number 2. Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey is the first Mario game for the Nintendo Switch and returns to the exploration sandbox-style gameplay from Super Mario 64. Similarly to Power Stars and Shine Sprites, the goal is to collect power moons that allow the Odyssey ship to travel from one unique and vast area to the next. Instead of traditional power-ups, this game introduces Cappy, a sentient cap that allows Mario to possess certain objects and enemies, which grant him new abilities.
Interestingly, the original damsel in distress from the Donkey Kong arcade game, Pauline, is a major supporting character who makes her main series debut in this game. She's the mayor of New Donk City, and her voice sings the game's theme song, Jump Up, Superstar. The final climax scene after Mario defeats Bowser is the hilarious icing on the cake.
And number 1, the 2007 video game on Nintendo Wii that became the best Mario game of all time, Super Mario Galaxy. Super Mario Galaxy is the first game to blend 3D Mario gameplay with the standard obstacle courses from the 2D platformers. Each level is more linear than those in Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine, yet Mario is capable of the same advanced maneuvers associated with those games. Power-ups from the 2D platforms return, though many of them are exclusive to this game and its sequel. The Beam Mushroom, Boom Mushroom, and Spring Mushroom are all examples.
Uniquely, this game, and its sequel, includes small planetary bodies in many of its levels. These miniature planets have their own centers of gravity, which causes Mario to rotate around them as he moves or jumps. This gives platforming a completely new dimension that rewards creativity since players must explore from all possible angles, literally. This game also introduces Princess Rosalina, the adoptive mother of the Loomis, who remains a recurring character. All of these beloved features come together to make what many consider to be the very best Mario game ever made.